I'm on the come up, jump up, I pick my gun up. Joe Jackson with trap.
We want to welcome everybody to the Geek Salad Podcast. I am ARYEtheKING. That is GEEtheBEARDED1. Today, we have two very special guests live via satellite. It's not via satellite. Do they still do via satellite? I feel like that's some 80s and 90s shit.
I think it's called the internet now.
Elon Musk
internet,
Starlink.
When he gets permission. That's when he gets permission. Starlink. Via Starlink, that's where we coming from.
Yeah, so we have these two locals. Thank you for being here.
Yes. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Right. So you guys put up like really hilarious content, very good content. How did and I just found out that you actually met. Like, did you see each other's content and decided to get up that way, or like how did that?
No, want to start our beautiful love story. Talk about this love story. So my boyfriend is friends with one of her friends, and we all met at his party, and his it was a theme party, which was like ninjas, like the Crazy 88. So everyone had to come dressed up like killer badasses, up in the Bronx. Yeah, in the Bronx, in Parkchester, 6th Trey. 6th Trey. Rep hard. Yeah, I do, because that is where I'm from originally. So, So Josh, her friend, kind of turns to me and is like, "Hey, Mika, this is Jen. She's Afro-Latina," and he's like, "Jen, she's Afro-Latina," and we just looked at each other, took a breath, and just screamed like, no, hello, no. Not nice to meet you. No, just turned around, just a squeal, a very loud, like it was like a community, jovial, tribal, energetic scream. Yeah. And then Mika ghosted me for like a couple months. Nah, see, she tells the story.
Oh, really?
Please. It wasn't a ghost. We were going through something in that, not me and you, but make a long story short, I had a very extravagant wedding in Mexico. And so after the beautiful wedding was over, husband and I, we had to save some money to go to a new house. So we lived with my mom for a year and slept on her living room floor because she was like, "Y'all ain't messing up my house. You get the floors." And I was like, "What?" So anyway, I didn't ghost her. I was going through a very transitional period in my life where I was on a floor at 30-something years old. I would have taken you at the floor. Yeah, in Jersey. I wasn't doing better. Okay. I was living in a room in the projects paying top dollar. Okay, let me tell you, we were struggling. So and plus I was in like no man's land, New Jersey. So ain't nobody going to Jersey. Yeah, ain't nobody going. I'm trying to make new friends.
Why is that? Why is it? Why don't nobody go to Jersey?
Well, it's funny. We now live in Jersey. Yeah, we do. We live in Jersey.
Full circle.
The irony of 5 years or so has done to us. But yeah, no, we definitely connected. Like once, we reconnected. Once Mika got her house. Yeah. We reconnected, started friendship, and then, that first conversation when we met up was just really on like our shared experiences, like what we wanted for the future, like some of our artistic and creative goals, and like we were just like, yo, let's just make a show. Like, let's do it. And we really had no idea of like the format or the content. So really to get started, sometimes we come up with like really cool creative ideas. Like it just sits like it sits there collecting dust. So we were like, just fuck it. Like, we just gonna turn the camera on and start talking. And that's really what it became, just us talking, getting to know each other in real time on camera. So that's what y'all seen. And then from there progressed to like just comedy sketches. Yeah. And living our favorite wildest dreams. Yes. Here we are. Yeah. So a lot of the stories we're sharing, it's like the first time we're hearing it. And we're really finding a lot about each other through this content. So it's been good. Good. She's cool.
That's
She's
so
cute.
Sweet. That is so sweet.
She's cute.
It's so touching. So touching.
For us individually, it was very hard to meet friends. Yeah. And we were always, at least for me, I was always around a lot of men. Or I was like in college, like you were just. I was in the streets, so I was fine. Okay. You went to own that towards the non-melanated group of folk. Yeah, for a period of time. And for me, I had a lot of like male friends or very limited female friends. So meeting Mika was like one of the few friends that I met moving to New York from Boston. And I love that. You know what's even though you ghosted me. No. See. Anyway, but
why you do her like that though? Why you?
No. You know, it's part of the story.
In the cold.
It's part of the journey. That
like
means
that.
you know that way you appreciate me so much more. I appreciate you. No. You appreciate me. I really do. So
that was
I think
some
I had
smooth pimp level shit she just said.
this is why
it was for you, baby. You know what I'm saying? So you appreciate.
This is why I would say I'd be a trash dude. And I know this is why I'm not. This is why I'm not a dude. So I will say I had the opposite situation where being in New York, I'm around all sorts of people, and I love rock and roll, so I'm in that crowd. I'm in like Brooklyn hipster crowd. I'm in punk rocker. Wherever there's people, I'm there. The problem is that the real ones wasn't there. Like when I met Jen, she's like a real one. So I, even if I did have a lot of like female associates or dudes around, it was just like, none of these folks are like real, so I feel like that's what I've gained, with my relationship with her. A real one. Thank you. I'm gonna mark that shit. Mark it.
All right, so check it. Let me ask y'all this. So me and G were talking about this earlier too, like our motivation behind wanting to do like skits and wanting to do a podcast. How did it come along, other than the fact, I guess, that both of y'all is crazy? Like, what made y'all want to put y'all craziness, you know what I'm saying, out there to the world? What was the inspiration for that?
What was your inspiration? Individually, I have been a part of like other community involvement things. Like I was part of a digital publication that talked about like Dominicans and their Blackness and historic. Oh, what happened? Oh,
no, G is quick with the Zoom. He's like the tech guy.
I was like, wow. Yeah, we don't got that. She was like, what's going on? Like they went away, but no, they're not.
I like to do this as our guests talk about like their their origin story, right? I want everybody to see how they can see y'all,
Ooh, I mean, it's, as you can see, it has not been updated, which also speaks to how we are creatively. Like we were like, yo, we're gonna make it. Like, yo, we got something hot. People loved it. I remember we went out maybe like our first month in after like kind of putting out content, and some girl was like, I know you guys are so funny. So we were like, we got seen. Like this is it. We was mad hype with our one fan. Like, yo, we out here.
Mama, we made it.
Mom, we made it. So we're like, we got it. And it was like slowly but surely, it was like building. And creatively, I've always been someone that's loved acting and theater, but I've always been very shy and behind. Where Mika is like, I'm gonna throw myself in, and I'm gonna just do it all. So this year has been about, it took us a while, I would say. Yeah. But I believed in Mika coming at a time where I was like, she's down for it and she's down to do it like nitty gritty. Yeah. And for me, I'm that kind of person. Like, yo, we're gonna do this. We're gonna like, fine. If you need me to throw myself on the floor, let me figure out some motivation. I'm throwing myself on the floor. We ran down the streets of Newark in heels with content that's never been out. But that motivation that Mika has to like, yo, this is funny. For me, I'm like, all right, Mika, I trust in you. We're gonna fucking do it. And I really appreciate that because like my background is all in comedy and arts. Like I've been in like theater before and off Broadway. I've done some TV here and there, but nothing to quit my day job over. But comedy has always been, and sketches has always been a huge part of my life, whether it was my childhood with my mom making me do Jerry Springer skits for fun for the family. Yeah, no, I don't think you're supposed to make a 12-year-old do Jerry Springer skit, but I got the video for it. Answered the question.
Yeah, I gotta see that now.
We gotta see that. We definitely.
Yeah, we
now. Were you a part of the fighting couple, or were you a girl going backstage and crying?
So here's the thing. My poor brother, he was like, in a room full of girls, so he had to be everyone's boyfriend in every story. So he was just like, he also so he was like, so that's what he had to play the boyfriend. So like every story was like, remember that party that we went to? Yeah. So then it would just be me, and then like my friend would say, you know, I messed with this girl, and then I would come around and be like, I'm the girl, and then he would tackle me, and my mom is behind the camera giggling. Like, she's
like, where's your mom?
We are 12 years old. It is
shout out to mom.
That's when the dream came.
Right.
Yeah, the dream. So really, my comedy skills was honed at that moment. But I've always, you know, I think, you know, a lot of people relate to this. Like, you gotta, you know, you gotta pay the bills and work a 9 to 5. But comedy has always been like this thing that's been consistent through my life. And then, you know, meeting Jen, it was just like another opportunity. Like, yo, you want to do it? Let's go. Let's just. You know, I'm so hungry. You hungry too. So it's just like, I don't really care how it looks or how, like, if do I look cute? Now, I don't really care about that. Like, I'm all about the laugh. If it gets the laugh, let's do it. You know?
You're here for the applause. I'm here for the applause. I like the applause.
But there's something,
you know what I'm saying? Praise me, God. Praise me.
I'm humbled. I'm humble right now.
Right.
Praise me.
But there's something, I mean, you guys could probably agree. There's something very, like, relatable and vulnerable when you see someone just like, wow, they went there, you know, and it just makes it like, you know, like, oh, I feel like I can, like, I
let loose a little bit.
Yeah. Like, maybe I don't have to be so serious about everything.
Trying to be cool, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because we're not that.
We'll tell you off the bat, we are not the ones to be in heels and the Gucci this and
I don't know how to flirt properly. Like, I just like to. I like to just cut to the chat. I'm like, so we doing this? Wait, I don't know what this is. whatever
you was flirting with? That's what that was. You know what I'm saying? That's how I be. Like, I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys have, you know, because I think we all have significant others, but like, I don't know, did y'all flirt? Like, because that's a lot of work.
Man, I mean, like now with us, you know, I'll try to flirt, like, you know, if she's putting on something, Brennan, you know, my go-to is look at that ass, you know, every single time.
We ain't got time anymore now. Like, we've reached the age, I feel like we're all like, you know, we slapping asses and
just press up against with your bonnet. It's one of these moves, like
I just go in the room and I'm like, might as well get it done. I just kind of come out the shower and I'm just like, I showered.
And that's my wife. That is my wife. Just like, look, you know what it is. Like, let's we don't gotta go through the song and dance.
Right. Kids are asleep or kids are now home. Let's go ahead.
Everybody shakes.
Get it done.
Shit. You know,
everybody shakes.
Like, the magic around that, you know, has long since, you know, passed. Like, we all pass gas. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, yeah.
It's gonna happen.
This is the beauty of growth, right? Like, you get to a certain point in your life and you're like, why? Like, we all know what it is.
Tired. Like, I'm trying to survive during the pandemic and another war.
Yeah, and I missed out on like Tinder, like the Tinder era. So I can't even imagine what you got to do to prepare for like a Tinder date.
Yo, that's wild.
You know what? I was never big on Tinder. I was active on Plenty of Fish.
POF in the
house. Yeah, that was see, now with that one, I played the numbers game during my whole phase. You know what I'm saying? So that was like my thing right there.
My whole phase. Everybody got it. Everybody got it.
Oh, it is true. My early 20s was like wild, fam. Like,
you're like, what am I doing? You have to question your choices.
Several times.
Oh, yeah. Definitely had some questionable choices, but it was always fun though, you know. So it worked out.
That's
never got no crazy baby mamas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Dodged the bullet.
Oh, good.
And so you start making that money, and all of a sudden, Shorty's like, "You remember me?"
Right. I got receipts.
Where's the proof?
You know what I'm saying? I need a DNA test. We're gonna have to look at his ears, Maury. Hey, Maury, look at his ears. His ears ain't like mine. Right. He got big ass ears. I don't got big ass ears, Maury.
That party we was at? No, that's what's scary. Especially like when I look at the news and hear people be like, yeah, in 2013, you know, even with the sexual assault stuff, it's like, oh, I did this happened to me, and I'm like, yo, it's a crazy time because I like how many times like I don't know, just you done crazy stuff and then you're like, did that person
I was doing dumb shit.
Yeah, was that person did that person feel like I like took advantage of them? I don't know.
You know, like, can we talk about that real quick? Because that's like an interesting topic to me because I feel like with
it's also controversial, right?
It's very controversial. I think this is what I think is interesting though, because this whole idea of consent is definitely something that's necessary. Absolutely. But it's like I feel like some dudes like take it too far, and I think it turns women off. So when you take it too far. So it's like, it's like, okay, so say you in a situation with a woman, y'all been chopping it up, say you're watching a movie or whatever, and y'all start making out. It's like, I don't think as a dude, you should verbally ask permission to do whatever. I think you should just do it. And if it's any resistance, then you stop.
You just back off. It's hard, right? I
think if you just ask, is it okay if I take off? Is it okay to have your consent to take off your shirt? Like,
I mean, if you're saying it like that sounds real like professional.
That's like,
may I take off your brassiere?
Is it okay? Like, okay. Do I have your permission?
Like, you gotta do one of them like, you good? Be like, yeah, I'm good. Let's go.
It's such an interesting topic to me because I feel like it's just we weren't really brought up with thinking about this. So I'm like, damn, how many times was I Me Too? like I don't know, like,
or did you Me Too somebody?
Did I Me Too somebody and I didn't know? So I think and I think now, like, remember that like there was comedy movies about let's get the girl drunk.
Right.
And so
Revenge of the Nerds. Remember Revenge of the Nerds? When we was little young, like
can't watch that movie now.
It's
so many levels of like damn, we was wilding back then.
Think about it when you were a kid, but it's like now, like wow, like you more or less raped that girl. Like she is like they thought it was the girl thought it was a football player she was sleeping with, but it was actually the nerd. He like tricked her somehow.
Yeah, and that's so bad. It's like you watch a lot of those movies now, and it's just because of the conversations that are being had, and they should be had. It's just you're like, wow, it was just a completely different time. Not okay, but it's just like, oh my god, like, did I participate? Was I a recipient of any of this trouble? Like, it's a really, I think we're all elder millennials. I feel like it's a really interesting position because elder millennials, because I feel like we were part of that. Like we remember Revenge of the Nerds, but like we also part of like the newer worlds now. Yeah, so like we sit in these worlds and I'm like, I don't know what to think or believe.
I'm a big person of telling my nephew, he's turning 20, and for a long time I was like, yo, you ask.
You got to.
It sounds corny. I was like, you have to, because I'll be damned if some hoe comes around and says that you did something.
Yeah.
I was like, hell no. I was like,
I have a son and I think about this like, no, like, I'm like, you gotta, I don't know, get an app. Maybe I should make an app. And
like record, like Dave Chappelle.
Like consent app.
Yeah.
Say yes to this. And
maybe that's the way before we get started.
Yeah.
Let's you sign the app.
Put your face here. Say yes to all of these.
Maybe that's the way. So then you don't have to say, you could just put, like, everyone knows it's like a part of our culture now. Like we just pull out an app. We're like, okay,
no, you recorded it, bitch. I heard you. Bitches for everybody.
You have your digital consent. You know what I'm saying? So I think part of it. Go ahead, G.
Do y'all think the chance for romance or the vibe is pretty much done with now, where consent is like the big thing just to make sure you ain't doing anything wrong, or in any way it's like protecting yourself? So do you think that part of the romance is gone now?
I don't think it, for me personally, don't take away anything. I mean, if I want the person, whether they ask me or not, I'm like, oh yeah, we doing this. It's cool. It's all good. Like it don't take, but I think that's also, I don't know if that's like age, like I'm older. So I'm like, I don't need a lot of fanfare anymore. I just, are we doing it or what? Like that's it. That was all I need.
But you're in a relationship, right?
It's true. So if I was dating, I was always the type of person that wouldn't have thought that was uncool. Like, so if for you would be I think it depends on the person, right? Because if the person is like, looks good, smell good, you're like, I don't really care what you say or do right now. I want to do this. But if it's like, a person you wasn't even into, regardless of what they do, you're just gonna be turned off. Like you're gonna be like,
that's it right there too. That's the
Yeah.
point I was going to make. 'Cause I think what happens, dudes, some women too, but I'm gonna speak for dudes. I think some dudes just don't have a lot of situational awareness. You know what I'm saying? I think that's where they get themselves like caught up, because it's like, okay, you invite a girl over, right? But at no point in time have you done any sexual flirting, made any type of intentions like, yo, this is what I want to do with you. She really just come, and she got an inkling, because okay, women, y'all are smart too. You know the dude probably, because he's a dude. He wants to, but at the same time, if you didn't say it, I don't know. So now she's over your house, and you trying to move, and she's like not feeling it. It's like the moment she's not feeling it, you should just back off. Okay, well, this is nice.
I'm gonna bring you back to your 20-year-old self though, because I know gentlemen that I was friends with who really were just snipers, like waiting for the opportunity,
trying to friend zone their way into something.
Right? Yeah. I'm like, we are friends, and they're like, yeah, but my friendship has a different intention. So I'm gonna throw out what you're saying is, what's your intention? Like, if my intention is to kick it with you, I'm gonna make it aware, but that my intention is to kick it with you. Right. I'm gonna feel your vibe. Like if you're looking at homegirl and you're looking at me, well, obviously I ain't it. But if we doing a little something, we bumping and you bump back.
But now there's this whole thing, because like the Aziz Ansari case is where the girl was like, he didn't.
I hated that.
Yeah.
Now because he said she was like, he didn't pick up on my non-verbal cues. I don't know if it's a culture thing, because we all know what she was. So I don't know if it's a culture thing or what. But I'm like, non-verbal. Did you say no? Like you didn't want this? Because this is Z's. Like I don't know. I don't really find this. I can take it. I can take him if I need to. Like I said,
you need
no.
If I need to, like it's something you can just put in your pocket and take with you. Like if I need an Aziz, I'll put Aziz in the pocket.
I stick or not in me, but
business.
I just feel like it was Aziz. I don't know. The story's like kind of like weird for me.
Catch up in like 5 years. He be like, y'all heard what you said.
I know. I'm just
Geek show. Like, you just gonna take me? He's just not your kind of tea.
But see, that's why I was like, non-verbal. This is new. Non-verbal cues,
but not everybody. I always think about how culturally women have not been given that opportunity to voice.
Yes.
So I definitely know situations where it's like they might not in the Aziz where it's like,
I think what did he like try to kiss her or something? It was something that.
Well, there was one part of the story where she was like
she went up to the crib.
She was at the crib. They was I think
they were kissing or something.
But he, and this is the old school, like, I want to get some hand, the hand, and she was like, I'm
I missed that part.
Come on, Aziz. Come on, Aziz.
Sit up, you're doing working on the abs, crunches.
Which is like, come on, give it a little something. Like, I don't care.
So I thought I was like, okay, but she did it. Because like, I bet she did it.
Yeah, she did.
Oh, she did it. Okay, this is all new information.
Because the palm was on her head, and she was like, I feel really intimidated because he's a Z, so therefore I will.
But if there is there's a power dynamic, that shit counts.
It does. It's so nuanced.
It's disgusting. And there's no right or wrong. They're all situational. That's what I'm gonna say.
It's situational.
It really is situational.
It's shit and it's situational, but
yeah, I'm not saying it's discourse. Yeah, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it's like, it's just a conversation that we didn't grow up with.
Hell no.
So I mean, but I was always, and again, I don't know if it's a culture thing, because we've just been brought to fight and protect ourselves, like first. So like I remember many a palms trying to like get me, down, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like, no, I said no, but that's just how we were brought up. Like we had to fend for ourselves. So I'm not saying it was right. I'm just saying it's like, that's the difference culturally. Like that's how we was brought up. I don't care who you are. Like, I'm going to fight you.
Facts.
That is also, I'm from the Bronx. But like, she's from the Bronx. And I have the mama that I have. So it's just.
Who made you fight at 12?
If I was ever locked up in prison and they tried me, like the only way you get in this is I'm gonna have to be unconscious. I'm gonna fight you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm going to isolation, B.
Yes.
That's probably right. I heard he don't mess.
I will
with.
be in the hole before you get in my before you get my hole. They will put me in the hole because like, you catching these, bro. Like it's not gonna be an easy W for you. You know,
right?
But then some people ain't like that. Some people is just non-confrontational, like you know.
So, but that's also the survival, right? You're surviving the best way you know. For some people, you have to like cave in and go numb with your body. Yeah. And some people can be like Mika, they gonna fight you.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna give you a real hard time.
You're gonna not want to do it afterwards.
You'd be like, you know what? I'm tired. She even worth it. That's what I'm gonna try to do. But
She's fighting me. I don't like this. I'm not used to.
Exactly. So I get it. It's nuance, and you know, I'm always there to support like the victims, but it fucking sucks. Yeah, it's just a different time. We got to start thinking about new ways of like how we approach the situation, how we teach our young ones.
But consent can also be, because part of my like day job is having these conversations for women when it comes to healing. And we had this amazing panel with like sex educators, kink, sex therapists, all women of color. And one of them pointed out like consent can actually be something that's very empowering and very sexy. And all of us in the conversation were like, wait a minute, bitch.
So it's like, I said yes as your leg like goes over.
It's depending on how it goes. And there's a large community.
That's what we should be teaching, how to do consent sexy.
Sexy consent.
Sexy consent.
There we go. I like that.
That's the answer.
That's the answer.
How
do you teach that to our youngest? Sexy consent.
Be like, so are you okay with sexual intercourse right now?
No. That's why they have the body roll. And that's why they created
I don't want this as you body roll and shit. You know
like
I do not consent. Like, wait a minute, you're sending me mixed signals.
Right. That's the kind of different right there.
I don't want you. What is happening?
I got a question for y'all. I want to bring it back to the funny real quick.
Yes.
Were y'all around during that Anna Sorkin era up in New York? Have y'all seen Inventing Anna yet?
Oh, I have not. We have knowledge of.
I've seen the Tinder Swindler, but Anna's the other one.
So Anna was the German heiress that somehow ain't got not a dime to her name, but she was able to swindle money from all of these elite New York bankers, artists, gallerists.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when you see the show, you're like, how the fuck did she do it? I mean, she was running and why? But I mean, she ain't had no money. She kept saying
in relation to Karen Steffens, aka Superhead.
No.
Yo,
she worked. This is the thing.
She worked.
Work. Sex work is work. I support sex work because that is work. That is so much work. I'm not doing it. I can't do that. I can't fake that.
I can't do it.
No, not doing it.
You know, and I have some like sex worker, associates, and And when I was like, oh, show me how you look when you like have to give head to someone you don't like. And she did the whole thing. And I was like, damn, that's a lot of work.
Make you believe it.
That's good. That's real good.
That's real.
You pretty much acting. You're an actor. You know what I'm saying?
You're
probably not gonna want to do it.
B.
Yeah. So in terms of what Anna, I mean, it sounds about white. Yeah. She's all like, I don't.
Yeah.
That would never.
They'd be like, who are you? You ain't supposed to be here.
Her privilege and that lifestyle, how she presents herself, would never get questioned because she's a white woman. Mm-hmm. A lot of society assumes that she must be if she says it.
Yeah.
But let it be a black person. Or let it be a
you already know.
Or a brown, any tint. Like, who are you? What are you doing? How did you get this money?
Mm-hmm. And you see,
who's
that was
your
SAT scores.
Yeah, that was a common theme in the show because it was like everybody was saying, "Yo, who is this girl?" But she knows X, Y, and Z. She knows the hedge fund guy over here. She knows the guy up at Citibank. She knows the CEO. It's like everybody was questioning who the fuck is she? And every time when it was time for her to pay, her go-to was, oh, my wire transfer is coming in from my father. Give me a moment. And somehow niggas never got paid. But she was able to swindle all of these people, man. And I mean, whenever y'all get a chance, check it out because it was some amazing, like mind-blowing shit. Like how the hell this girl was able to do this in real life.
Also, it's that clout, right? Like if they was like, whoa, she knows so-and-so and, she has these connections. So people were like, yeah, I believe it because of the clout. And that's the culture we live in. It's like, I mean, it's always been like, okay, who you know to get ahead. But now especially in this social media era. It's like, oh, she in the gram with hedge fund dude. Yeah,
she got
cool.
a check mark.
Yeah,
or they got a check mark.
She legit,
Mm.
and that's how people look at you. That's your currency, your social currency.
Mhm.
So
Is crazy,
is that what
man.
we're poor? We need to be out
We need to
here.
be fake. We gotta fake it till we make it.
We just
baby.
come in, hey y'all know us. And like,
So wait, so was she just like swindling dudes as far as like, look, you give me 50 grand, I can make it
Nah.
100 grand in a couple months,
a
or was she like
Not even.
in relationships with these dudes and swindling them that way?
Nah,
was
because
she hot?
so
Like, I mean, like
She was
y'all.
like,
I
hey.
don't know, I
the
haven't
thing
seen
with
it.
her, right? It was that now the shit that she was doing, she was actually working, and she was smart. The thing is that she didn't like she was presenting herself as like a German hirist. Like her father was like paid as shit, right?
Yeah.
And one dope scene in the show was where I guess she aligned herself with a lawyer at this big ass company to help her secure this big ass building for her art club, whatever, right? And the guy kept calling her uncle in Germany to send over the wire transfer. But couldn't find out he was calling a different virtual SIM card, and she downloaded like a voice changer in her phone, pretending to be her uncle, like, oh, it's coming, don't worry about it, I got you. And I'm like, that level of effort is nothing to shy about, man.
Full-time job.
That is effort. That is research. That is money of cost.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you can't hate the game, right? Like you got played. I mean, is it illegal? Is it
Oh
illegal?
yeah,
That's definitely
Illegal?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you know.
yeah,
She in jail.
because like
Oh,
she
she in
was
jail.
talking to these powerful rich
make
New
sure.
Yorkers, and like like I'm giving them like hey, here is my business plan, here is these numbers,
got it.
my like market research. I'm like, shit, if she applied just 10% of this shit to like an actual legitimate job, she'd be all right. But she was just trying to skirt around everything else.
And
Can't
do
do
it. And then it doesn't even matter because now she's in jail. So
Yeah.
My
But-
tax guy says the government will always get their money.
Oh, they do.
Oh hell yeah,
They
you
will
already know
always-
that.
He was like, don't you ever try to swindle. I was like, hell no, I'm not trying to swindle nobody.
Yeah. They
The
do
government.
audits.
Because you got to think about it. Americans are real ignorant. So if she comes to with the accent that says, I'm a German Harris, they're gonna be like, sounds legit. Why? Because she speaks German, she carries herself a certain way. That like research and that intuition of like, let me just verify and take a step back. That's not happening. Not in those elite worlds. It's all about the fast movement, the looks, the cash. Not to say
And
that
probably
I
like a couple of thousand. I don't know how much she was asking for, like 50K here, 100K here. They probably like probably nothing to them. So they're like, oh well, but it adds up after some time. And they're like, hold on,
50K.
hold on, girl, where my money? So,
Damn her.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the Tinder swindler. I don't know if y'all saw that. But
I saw
I've
some.
heard about it. I ain't see it yet.
Yeah.
So-
Is it pretty good?
yeah, it was good. Well, it's bad. It's a real story. It's a terrible culture we live in.
What he did was
It's
bad.
he did bad, but the story was interesting. So no, he used Tinder to meet women, and he was also an elaborate liar and
You have to
schemer.
believe it.
And he swindled them out of money. The same thing, like I'm from this rich family, and he used a fake name, and he had even like people stage being people who they weren't, and so he would swindle them. He would like
He brought actors in.
he brought actors.
That's
in.
a full.
So I'll tell you this one piece is that when it was time to ask for money, he was like, oh my God, like my enemies are after me. And she's like, what? And he sends pictures. He has a picture of like blood coming from his head. He has his bodyguard like in an ambulance, look hurt. And he was like, we're on our way to the hospital. He staged all of that. And just whenever he would swindle the money out of the women, he would send them the same photos. Like, my enemies are after me. I need you to send me 100K. So this woman's like out of 250K or something like that. Like, so she has to pay it back. There's nothing they can do.
You know why?
But he's out of jail. You know, like,
Oh, really?
Oh, how long did he do?
I think he did like a couple of months. Like,
That's
he was,
Oh, come on now, man.
man. And I don't think
Good lawyers, man.
good lawyers. And I think it was like technically, like he lied, but I think there was like a legal loophole. Like it was like, was it law breaking? Like, you know, what she did.
Research. He did his research.
And so he's out and he's back. He's on the gram. He's
on gram.
He's flashing his money. He's got a model girlfriend, and
I believe it,
he was like,
you can get money off that. He could at least get a book deal or something. He could.
Yep.
Look at Leo. He did the movie for where's the one where he does all the cocaine and the banking with Jonah Hill?
Was it Wolf of Wall Street?
Wolf of Wall Street. That's based on a true story. My man got
was it that or was it the other one?
No, Wolf of Wall Street. He got the original man still does talks.
Yeah.
He speaks. He has videos on YouTube. My man got a book deal, and he got money.
That was a great. Leo was so great. That role.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Leo.
Hit all of us up, Leo. We're ready.
Yeah.
We're ready.
Yeah.
Let's be scammers. Let's do this.
Yes.
All right. So look.
Set it off and everything.
Let's do it. Hold on. Look, this ain't live, so I can edit this part out. Let's go ahead and really do this scam thing. Let's go ahead and let's get some people inboxes.
That movie would be over very fast.
This is true. They would
like a bunch of black
first. It'll be like our first legitimate chance to make a little bit of money, and it'll be like the feds who like break it.
Yeah, like you looking for
They'll
me?
Call us the N-word too.
Yeah.
Pablo Escobar skipped how many times? And you're looking for me?
It was a.
You know what I'm saying?
And that was
the one. That was another one.
Another scammers. They be scamming. They're good.
So look, on a more serious note, let me ask y'all this. This is something I wonder about, right? So Afro-Latinas, like, what is that experience like? Because I was watching the episode of Jesus and Miro, but this was the old show when it was on Vice before they got big money and went to Showtime.
Yeah.
So Miro was talking about himself being, I think he's Dominican, and how he embraces the African part of him as well as the Dominican part. But like his uncles is just straight like, nah, we don't got no African in us. Like we're Dominican. You know what I'm saying? So as Afro-Latinas, tell us what your experience has been, having these like two, parts of you, or do you even look at it as two parts of you?
No, I know you want to. You just gonna roll that question right over here.
Well, yeah, because I feel like you say it very like articulate.
Butter
I mean,
up, I like it.
I can't. It's like you can't speak for every Black person's experience because it's different.
But like, what's your
but for me, I consider myself Afro-Caribbean, Afro-Dominican. To me, that African piece comes first because without it, like I know I'm not indigenous, so I don't come from that land. Wherever DR, the indigenous folks there, I don't come from that, and I know that my culture comes from Africa. Where in Africa, I wish I could tell you, So I think there's a difference between like this idea of latinx, where it's like under, those that speak Spanish or were ruled by the Spaniards or have this cultural identity. But it's like, for me, it's been, I'm never enough for either or. I'm never Black enough. I'm never Dominican enough. I'll never be Hispanic or Latino enough. And and now I'm just tired to the point where like, you're right. I'll never be enough because I'm me. I'm never going to be enough for anybody. Yeah. Afro-Latina, it's weird. It's full of racism and bias and white supremacy. The same shit you see how they treat Black Americans versus Black Caribbeans versus Africans. It's the same shit that we go through. So would I lie to you and tell you I don't have like people in my family that say they're not Black? I would be lying to you. There are definitely people that are like, no, I'm Dominican, I'm not Black, I'm Latino. Do I have other relatives that are like, bitch, we black on black on black on black? We've been Black since the day we was born.
We got Black relatives. There's Black American relatives who be on that. Like, there's no African in my family. I'm like, your last name Johnson. Where do you think that comes from? How you gotta say it like
right?
Johnson. Your last name Johnson. Yeah, no, and I feel like that's a good point that all of our experiences are different. So for me, my mom's Black American and my dad's from Peru, Iquitos, which is like as indigenous as you can get in Peru. So he is straight up indigenous, like very little colonizers in there. So, and he came to this country when he was 17. So, my experience, I feel like Blackness was never discussed with me. And it's interesting because like, I feel like I learned more about my Peruvian culture. My mom, even though she's Black American, we were always around Caribbean culture. That was our neighborhood. That was our friends, extended family. So I just feel like no one addressed Blackness. And so I feel like once I entered school, there was just experiences I started to have where now everyone's like, a Peru what? Like, they didn't know what Peruvian was. So I didn't fit into the Dominicans or the Puerto Ricans or Black Americans, because like she was saying, I wasn't enough of something. And so I kind of was just shoved out an outcast, because they're just like, what are you? I remember getting a lot of that growing up, especially as like we grow and our looks and our features, everything. They're just like, what?
Your hair is curly, but your face is black. And then you got a wide nose.
So, and it was just like, it was always just like, where do I belong? And then, then it got to another point and stage, and I don't know if you experienced this, but it was just like, I felt like even if I claim being Peruvian, which is half of my family, huge part of, I'm being with my family on the weekends in the Heights, like, it's part of my culture. And then whenever I would say that, I felt like they were like, oh, you trying to other yourself. Like, would you think you're better? And I'm like, no, like I legit come from a Peruvian family. Like, so I felt almost ashamed to claim that Peruvian side, because I was like, oh, it feels like, my fellow Black American friends just feel like, oh, I'm trying to other myself. And then, other Latin folks was like, but you Black, and then I'm like, oh, you couldn't win. And so, like, just claiming Afro-Latina now for me, or Afro-Peruvian, is like, oh, I am all of these things. It's just one way to say I don't have to be like, I'm Black American and Peruvian. Like, I don't have to, it's just Afro-Peruvian, Afro-Latina.
Take it. Roll it up, whatever.
Yeah, but the Blackness is there. Obviously, like, if the cops was after us, they're not being
like, it don't matter.
Afro-Caribbean and
half
like,
Black, half Peruvian,
like,
indigenous.
Like, before I beat your ass with this billy club, let me check your 23andMe real quick. Let me see the DNA evidence.
And that's very much like our culture growing up in America, right? Like, we are what we look like we are. Like, so that is what people perceive us to be. When I'm around my Peruvian family, I am not Black to them, which is problematic in itself, because I feel like
they say real ignorant.
They do. To them, I'm Peruvian. So it just was never discussed. Like, oh yeah, I didn't even know. It took me till I was older to realize there were Black folks in Peru that looked like me. Like, I'm like, wait, what? And I had to learn all of that on my own, because, and then I can't really blame my dad. I mean, like, he was like Mowgli. He grew up in a hut near the river. Like, like
Mowgli.
He was like Mowgli. Like, he just grew up with the animals in the jungle. So like legit, I swear to you, I
can't stand it.
He's a no, but he says it, so it's fine. It's all good. And I can say it too, right? Because like, I'm Peruvian. So
now you got right.
Yeah, I got right. I got racist rights against my own people. But no, he grew up like that, so he doesn't understand Black American culture. And I'm like, that's like a tough comment. He's just like, I don't understand. You're my daughter, and
that's
you're Peruvian.
You're Peruvian.
That's
right. You Black.
They don't acknowledge that part. So it's interesting, but I can't really fault them. Like, it's just a difference of cultures.
Okay. Yeah, I think for me, I was kind of raised the same way, because my mother is Panamanian. So when I'm around her side of the family, they all recognize me as Black because of the way that I was raised by my father mostly, right? And, like, I tried to get them to tell me more about Panama, but nobody like really raised me in that type of environment. Like my mother was like, making me like pig feet and like rice and beans, you know what I'm saying? So I was getting that and cooking. But as far as like being raised, I would hang around the family, but I don't know Spanish. I used to go to church and they be in Spanish, and I'm like, well, I don't know what it's saying, but I'm here. You know what I mean? So growing older, it's like I even asked my mother, like, hey, when you see me, do you see me as, Panamanian, more Afro-Latino or Black? Like, no, you're Black because the way that you was raised by us. So, it's that that push and pull, like, I want to embrace my Latino side, but my family really never brought me into the world like that. You see what I'm saying?
That makes a lot of sense, and I think it goes back to what I was saying. Like, my experience is I was split between South Bronx and Washington Heights with my family. So I had Peruvian culture was a really big part of my upbringing, which is why I claim it. But I understand, like, if I didn't have that, then you don't really feel as connected. And like how you look in this culture is how you're treated and perceived to be. So I definitely get that. And I feel like it's a everyone's individual choice too.
It's a story, right? Because it's like Latinidad is really a cultural stand for where Black, that's a race. Like you could be Black and be Asian and Chinese, but you're still Black at the end of the day. Like you're not gonna look at your citizenship and be like, well, my friend, you only claim your Chinese side.
No,
we don't care if you can speak Chinese, nigga. We still gonna beat you up.
You Black,
right?
Okay, like Naomi Osaka, you see her.
Yeah,
they're like, she Black.
Until she won. And she's
like, oh, she's not Black anymore. Nah, she's a Black woman first. She enters in a space as a Black woman or a biracial person, but her Blackness is there. We carry our Blackness everywhere. We talk about the cab rides in Washington Heights, like depending on what you're wearing and how you salute them, you're gonna get a different experience.
Oh, it's true. Depending how my hair is.
Oh my God. Me with braids, I'm getting no courtesy, no conversation.
Even when you speak in Spanish. Like, that's another thing.
And then they reply in English. And it's like, my man, we could have this conversation where
I'm talking in Spanish, bro. Like, what else I had a cab driver tell me there's no Black people in Peru. And I was like, what the? There's Black people everywhere. There's Black people everywhere.
But that's also the culture. You put Univision on, and you will never, ever see the majority of the time Black people represented speaking Spanish or within the Latinx culture. Yeah, it's not happening. Very few times. I can tell you one reporter who was Dominican that was on Univision. His name was, I forgot. Ooh. But he was the
I was waiting for the name too. Like,
I know. I was gonna say Jorge, but Jorge was the only male that was white passing. He's the one that got to interview Obama. He's the one that did all the Latin conversations. And then they could say it was like Pedro or something, like typical Dominican name. But my man was the one that had to travel everywhere and do all the other topics.
Okay.
Like they send them to like the war zone,
like the baseball field. If there was like a vote happening, like he would get those jobs. It'd be like right the 15 minutes at the end, like, okay, we're gonna shoot it to him because he's the funny, Black dude that's like good dancing.
Yeah,
he has had dances, but he could move though, baby. He represented very well.
Just to tell the news, like, okay,
that's what you think.
Ain't no two-stepping over here. We're going all the way in. You know what I'm saying? Hey, okay, let me check this out. Okay, so I'm gonna switch it up just a little bit, right? I was thinking about it was this article I was reading. I don't even know if it's true or not, but they say that one of the staples of Black people parties, the electric slide, right? That the song was actually about, and I can tell you already talked about this. This is hilarious.
We did. It's in like
the song supposedly was about a woman and her experience with the vibrator, and that's how she came up with the lyrics of the song. Oh. Okay, so by that look, I maybe y'all was talking about something different.
Yeah, we were talking. Yeah, but that's interesting.
That's like some shit that would happen in a movie. Like I know what he about to say. Then he said something completely different. But okay, so
it's electric.
I looked it up. The person who wrote the song said that that's not true. But if you go back and look at the lyrics of it, it could they're vague enough that it could be about a woman and her experience with a vibrator, right?
I like it.
Now I'm gonna hear it.
My grandma's dancing to the song. Grandma knew what was going on. So check it. So I don't know how true it is now, but this is the actual question. What song do you remember, say, from your coming up, that now as an adult you look back at the lyrics and you know what, this song is not as wholesome as I thought it was? Like, what song comes to mind?
Oh, that's a good question. I was just thinking of a dirty song. That's what my brain was going. Like, what song from your childhood you shouldn't have been singing?
There's a song that I was listening to this morning from Barris Hammond. Excuse me. Excuse me. It's cold in here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I got a t-shirt on, my hands are turning purple. I'm like, it's cool. There's a song by Beres Hammond. I hope I'm saying his last name right. And in the song he goes, "Hey little girl, something about little girl I'm tempted to touch." And I was listening to it, and every time I hear him, like, oh, he's really talking about like a 15-year-old girl.
Yes,
like that's a good
point.
Girl. He's like looking at her walking by. That's not Beres. That is not Beres Hammond. He's an older man, but it's like these reggae songs that are supposed to be like these, love jamming songs. And every time I hear it, I was like, ew. So my partner Shamari, he looked at me today. He was like, I was singing, and he was like, "This song is so creepy." I was like, I just pretend that he gave her consent and they're role playing right now. Yeah. So that's the only way I'm gonna make it through the song.
But it's like even if it was a role play, it'd still be a weird role play.
It's a weird.
Like,
it
would be, man.
I'd be like,
I'm gonna let you finish. But like, I always thought it was weird. Like, if you, and none of my friends that I know of do this, but if you were like an adult dude, like in your 30s, 40s, or whatever, and you got this whole schoolgirl fantasy, I'm looking at you sideways, bro. Like, I'm just kind of looking at you sideways. I'm just like
you better be a student too, bro.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I just lost your virginity.
All these 25, 35, 45-year-old women, and your fantasy is like a just turned 18.
18, right.
Just turned 18.
Barely legal.
But isn't that like a rock song?
Well, I was gonna, to your point, I was gonna say there's a lot of songs, rock and old.
She's barely 18 or something.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of like little girl, come here.
Britney Spears. Oh, baby.
Yes, and there's a Marilyn Manson song that he's like, little girl, little girl.
That is.
Would you close your eyes?
That's I think I know what it is. Like, some dudes feel like, okay, if I can get her when she's 18 or whatever, she ain't been through like 50 dudes or whatever. But that's that's not what you want. You want somebody with at least a little bit of experience, bro. That would be some really unseasoned chicken. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, seasoned chicken.
Some of their chicken.
I always wonder what it is. I guess it's the conquering thing. Like,
it's also porn.
Yeah.
Porn very much
like you want to be the only. I never wanted to be the only one.
Like, women and sexuality has always been deemed like clean. They have to have no, this virginity
purity and all of that stuff.
But then you want her to like blow your back out. Like, what do you can't get? We can't do like. What are we doing?
I want her to blow my back. That sounds funny.
Oh.
Yeah, it took years to perfect some of these things.
You want a unicorn. You want her to be that rare virgin porn star. Like, that's what you want.
That's not real.
That don't exist, man.
I've had toxic relationships where guys would be like, well, judging other people. I would never be with a girl that's been with X amount of dudes. So I'd be like,
I never understood that, man. Like, to me, that was always like, you as a dude being insecure, you know what I'm saying? Because first of all, why are you asking her about her body count anyway? Like, what does that have to do with anything?
Man, that's dudes' insecurity, man. That's all it is.
It is. And then it was just refreshing, like who I'm married to now. Like, I remember when we were dating and we were just having very open discussions about like our past stories, and then we would just crack up about like things that we've experienced, because it's brought us to who we are now. And we kept like, oh, I did this, or we did this. And it was just so refreshing to be able to have those conversations without judgment. So I feel like that's the most healthiest of a situation you can be in. It's just, dude, like,
but that again is maturity. That is understanding yourself. We actually have an episode about the numbers. I have a theory. I have many theories. And also about the
you gotta share. You can't just
it was just funny you mentioned the electric slide, because I gave her a theory and she was like, it's not true. And I was like, oh yes it is.
Yeah.
And my theory has proven correct.
Yes.
But my theory number is like, numbers don't count. First of all, I don't care about numbers. I'm asking you, when's the last time you got tested? Because I need to know who I gotta back check in case anything happens. Who we talking to? Who getting that call? But
that part.
If you don't bust a nut, then you're just a sexual vessel of pleasure.
So she don't count.
I don't count it if I didn't come. If I was just I am nothing but a hand or a doll or nothing. if you didn't,
hold on, wait.
Like, it's
Say
just
that one more time. I like, yo, and for the dudes listening, this is game for you too, because this
applies
something.
to you too.
yeah,
Go ahead.
if you didn't bust in nothing, you are nothing but sexual vessel for your partner.
Mhm.
You didn't come,
I like
It don't count.
then the numbers don't count. It's just I'm just
I'm
here
like-
to
I was like,
support
"Ooh, I
you
gotta
in
go
your
back."
journey.
Yeah.
I was like, that reduced numbers by
yeah, like at least 75%.
70 to 80%.
75. Yeah,
Grading on a
easy.
curve.
Yes.
Curve.
It's grading on a curve.
Yeah,
buddy. We're grading on a curve.
Curve.
But
But like dudes busting that, right? Like even you don't even have to enjoy it.
99.998% of the time, this gonna happen.
You just do it and you be like, I wasn't even happy.
I don't even need you.
But you did it. I don't
Yeah.
even like
Yo, I never understood. I heard a dude. I was watching, I don't know, somebody I follow on like YouTube, and they was like, okay, so the dude, he was calling in to get like relationship advice or advice on how to talk to women. And the guy was like, man, I'm just trying to get these girls, you know what I'm saying? And the dude was giving him good advice, and he was like, man, nah, forget all that, because I'm not into their pleasure. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get what I'm getting. But this is the thing. This is what I don't understand. This is where the disconnect comes in for me. If you don't care about like her pleasure, what's the point of, why not just like jack off? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. It's like part of the allure to me as a dude is, the activity, you know what I'm saying? The give and the take.
yeah.
You're speaking from a place of knowledge and wisdom, my friend.
Yeah. This does not apply to
I'm trying to get my nephew to understand, like, listen, first of all, self-love is the best love. It's always a safety. You will never get a bitch pregnant if you take care of yourself.
And most of the time you realize when you do it yourself, you're like, I didn't need to make that phone call.
I don't need the drama.
I don't need the drama. Because you be
That's
on the,
why I
you be
don't
like,
got crazy baby mamas
gotta
now. That
coordinate
saved
Uber
me
rides
many a
now.
night in my day.
yeah.
But it's also, I think, as a people, we're not told to be sexually liberated. We could be sexual and we could be seen as sexual objects, but that idea of comfort and like having a conversation with your partner, maybe it is part of that consent, but being like, yo, maybe you want you to touch my booty in a certain way, or maybe I like seeing you get dressed, like having those conversations, opportunities to enjoy being sensual versus just having sex. I'm trying to tell my nephew to save him trouble. Like, you could, not in the sense, but encouraging him, like, have your fun, but enjoy the exploration part. Don't just feel like you're just in a girl and you're
Right.
Yeah, that's why she's gonna talk about you when she's like 27. Like, oh my god, I gave it up to him, and I was like,
You will be a subject in a girls group chat.
Of course.
In the group chat.
And those be like the most brutal conversations too.
Down in the group.
we are brutal.
I
It'd be
know.
so weird.
I know.
It's because I definitely had friends in the industry, and they're like, "Oh, look, so and so of a certain name and status sent me a dick pic," and I'm like, "Yo, you like date? What are you doing? Like, you gonna be talked about and famous, so like we all seen it, and just some girl, in the Bronx seen that shit. Like, it's crazy to me, like."
That like random picture of like an A star, like, you see the thing?
Yeah, it's just so weird. Like,
looks like
The
the
daily dick report in the group chat, like, Tuesday I got this dick, and this is a Thursday dick right here.
Understood that. That's another thing I never understood is
Random dick pics. The random
don't
dick
do
pics.
anything. Dicks are
Yeah.
dicks. I mean, like, dick one, dick two, man. Like,
I think what it is, some guys don't realize that. Okay, so y'all are visual creatures too.
yes.
But it's different. It's like dick ain't special to y'all. Like, so I know y'all got significant others, but if y'all was like single and out here looking, y'all could go get some like it
We
wouldn't even
already
be
said if they leave us, we just thotting. Like, we just
out in the body, just out here, just living y'all thoughty existence.
My all is my job and my happiness.
I probably would end up with like, lean away. But like she
might want to be committed. I'm not down for that.
Like, nah.
Yeah, if I was single,
Now you're
listen, if
going
I
through
was
that
single,
shit.
I would be out here at least for the next like 4 5 years, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
At least my mid 40s, bro. Like I'm gonna be.
I probably end up with a really old guy. I'm like, you good? He'd be like, yeah. I'm like, we good. I got dogs.
I'm gonna be like, yo, I'm entering
much.
into like 10 years from now. I'll be entering into my I call it my George Clooney years. You know what I'm saying? My black George Clooney shit. It's like you like in this perfect space where like you got women your age, but then there's women younger than you that's like looking up to you too. Like it's be a great place to be. You know what I'm saying? If you listening, wife, stay on your.
Where you going?
Yeah, where you
talking
about?
Going? Where we going?
What's funny because like definitely when you get to this point, you be like, I ain't going nowhere.
It's like for what? And then you got to deal with people being stupid. It's like it's one thing dealing with your partner because you know their craziness, you know their ups, their downs. It's like it's cool. There's a certain comfort in that. But then it's like if you meet somebody new, you know they're gonna be on their best behavior for like the first few months, year, or whatever. Before you really get to who they are and the annoying part about knowing them. You know what I'm saying?
And it's different now because of like the apps. It's a different dating culture. I wouldn't know what to do with that. Like I'm like, I have to swipe, and then if they don't swipe me back, then
you gotta message them and then hope they call you.
Nah, you don't.
Then hope to meet.
If you don't match up with me, you don't do the thing, and I don't want to talk to you because you wasn't feeling me. Like I don't want to message you and be like,
talk to you.
I don't want to talk.
I love your accents, but hold on.
Talk. I didn't realize that.
It's like Joan Rivers.
I do go in and out of it. My conversational talk is much more New York,
much more elaborate.
Well, yeah. Okay. Because when I get excited. But yeah, like it's just a weird thing. I wouldn't know what to do. I will say this. My only foray into internet dating, I met a freaking killer. Like literally, he was a murderer.
Oh shit.
Yeah, off of MySpace. So it wasn't really.
Damn.
This was a long time. Did I age myself? That's okay. MySpace.
It was like 05 or something. Like MySpace.
That's the last.
I don't talk about numbers right now. Okay, what do we say?
That is hilarious.
You're right.
He was a legit murderer. I met this dude at the Port Authority because I figured if I didn't like him, I could take the bus back to New Jersey where I was living at the time. And so pre-marriage. And so dude was like, I met him at the Port Authority. At that time, there was like an arcade, not there anymore, but he was playing Dance Dance Revolution. Like he was just
that
on it.
That should have been your tip off right there. Only
that should have been. And so I came in, I'm like, hey, and he was like,
oh,
yeah, hey, in it. So,
red flag.
Red flag. But I proceeded.
Flag on the flag. Goddamn.
She proud. She's
well, I already paid a bus fare to come out here, so at least I can try to figure this out. So we sit down, have a conversation. I wasn't really feeling him. He was a little weird. I was initially interested on MySpace because he was an artist and I loved his artwork. But in person, he was a little off. So I went back on the bus, never to think about him again. A couple of days later, he's hitting my phone, going crazy. I'm like, what? I'm like ignoring him. He's like, I need to talk to you, like on my voicemail. Ignored it. Then he moved me on his top 8 list to number 1. And I'm like, I just met this dude once. Wow. It was like top 8 was like a I
remember that
6,
too, the top list.
Right? So anyway, a couple of days later, my friend's like, was this the dude? This is a newspaper. I don't know why we had newspaper.
This could be white people. This could be the newspaper. This is whatever you need.
White. She's like,
it's a white newspaper.
Dude, you went on a date with? And I was like, oh yeah. She's like, yeah, he just wanted for murder. He like murdered somebody. Damn. We laughed, but that was a laugh of nervousness. Like, I was like, what? This is crazy.
Bullet.
What happened was he had a roommate he was living with, and he got into a fight with the roommate's mother, and he, I guess, killed her. Like, that's crazy. Like, it's not funny, but he killed her.
It's not funny, but it is kind of funny. Like,
because it's crazy.
Because people be murdering people.
So then the camera, he went to a bodega and he bought a Four Locos with blood on his shirt.
What?
And the camera caught it. And so that's how they identified him. And so he's in jail. I'm like, yo, that's crazy, whatever. And then fast forward a month later, I get a call. Those jail calls. You want to accept the call?
Wow.
And I'm on the bus. Like I'm like, what? I'm like, well, fuck it. Yeah, I guess. I don't know what it is. And then it's the dude that is in jail. Like it's his mother, but I don't know why the mother was calling.
I told you she was in jail too. She's a part of the problem.
So she said, "Listen, I know you're my son's girlfriend. There's two sides to every story." And I just stopped her there. I was like, "Man,
wait a minute.
I am not your son's girlfriend. I met him once. Please don't call me ever again." And I just hung up.
She was trying to get it recorded. That's how they prove it. Get it recorded.
So,
they said they use a girlfriend.
Needless to say, I did not internet date after that.
That'll do it.
That would.
Okay, so let me throw this out there real quick. And we done got so far off of we'll come back to the songs that ain't about what we thought it was about. But okay, so let me throw this out there because I got a homegirl at the job I used to work with. She's the same way. She is dead set against any internet dating. And her whole thing is just like the story you told, like it could be literally a serial killer, it could be anybody. But I was like, I posed her this question though. I was like, well, that's true. But at the same time, you could be out at I don't know, like Applebee's or something with your homegirls, and a dude could come by, you know, chat your table up, talk, you know, and be like, okay, here's my number, you know, if you want to get together, yada yada yada, and say he hits you up a week later, and y'all could go out on a date like that. Like, but what's the difference though? That's still technically a stranger. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's
you're on the dice every day?
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you meet him online or in person.
Roll the dice.
You know,
Facts.
People crazy.
Hold on one second. I just gotta make sure my baby is gonna eat. So if you give me can I get one moment?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'll be right
We
back.
ain't live. It's not live.
Feed your baby, girl. Out here trying to make millions. This is another reason why we need to make millions.
Okay.
We need to have daycare prepared.
Listen, it is what it is.
How
You got any kids?
No, me and my man don't have kids, and we don't really want them anyways.
Hey, I'm not mad at you.
Listen, I wake up in the morning and I'm like, people want us to give away this for children?
You can just be like a dope auntie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love being an auntie. I'm her son's second godmother. It's a feature baby.
I just realized, I was like, damn, he ain't eat.
He did sleep for a bit. Yeah. But I love being an auntie because parenting is hard. It is real hard to bring. Want to make sure you don't get blurred out. Yeah.
Oh, you could give him some milk. That'll hold him.
Give milk.
Is that Ron?
Ron is coming down.
Let's tell Ron I said what up, man.
Yeah, we'll tell him when he comes down.
Okay.
Babe, you could just give him some milk.
All right.
That's good. Hi, Zayden. And come say hello real quick. Hi. Good morning, Zayden. Oh, good day, Zayden.
That's what.
He's sorry, guys. He's like, y'all got. Hi, Zayden.
I know y'all get hot. That's why I have to open everything.
No, I was cold.
Jen is cold.
Yo,
Ron, what up,
What's
bro?
going on, man?
Your face.
oh, how am I blurring? Oh, that's iPhone.
The blur.
That's iPhone nonsense.
Zayden, you
The
like
blurred,
the
blurred,
brown?
blurred. That's a blurred.
I don't know what to do. What do I do?
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Yo, what's
What's
up,
What's going
bro?
on, man?
How y'all doing?
We good,
We
man.
good,
Yo, we
man.
love the content y'all putting out, bro.
Appreciate it, man. Love y'all content as well.
Thanks, man. Thanks. So look,
Trying to
when we
get
come
our
to New York,
room.
we got a link for real.
Yeah, that's the goal.
When y'all coming?
I don't know, probably sometime this year. We was actually gonna come out there last year, but then the Rona hit and derailed all of that good shit. So,
Yes, sir.
we're coming up there.
All right, man. Just let us know.
No
We
doubt.
on. If we're trying to get to a point where we post every day too, because that's the wave. I'm like, we need all the content now. So we're trying to build up before it get warm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. For
That's
sure.
what's up. Ron with the bars, man. I didn't know you had bars. I saw some of the videos you did. Ron got the
I appreciate that, man.
Ron
Yeah,
got
I'm
the
trying to
bars,
get back
man.
in the studio. I'm trying to get
Yes.
back, man. You know,
Baby
my
Zayden's
child
coming
is
in
a
the
little
kitchen
older,
and fried.
Mm-hmm.
so he's finding his footing in this world, and I can focus on getting these bars back to where they need to be.
All
How
right.
old is the baby?
22 months, and we
Yeah.
tired, y'all.
He about
Oh,
to be-
I know. I didn't did that 3 separate times, man.
Yeah, man.
Lord.
Twice over here, man.
Separate. Okay, I guess we
Mm.
can't complain.
Yeah.
You said 3 separate times? You got 3?
I got 3 boys, 14,
Oh,
12, and 4.
Ooh.
Oh, Lord.
This is all long.
Well, our son is like 3 boys and 1.
I thought it was like smells. Oh, we actually need it.
Wait till he gets in his twos for real. Like everything they tell you about the terrible twos
It's true.
is real.
Yes,
I remember
sir.
my first son, he was like maybe, I think in fact he was like 22 months, just on the cusp of 2. And I was like, my brother was telling my older brother, he was like, look, when they turn 2, 2.5, they go crazy. I was like, look, okay, I've been a father for almost 2 whole years now. I think I know, you know what I'm saying, what I'm good, you know. 5 months later, that kid turned into 2 kids. Not because we had another kid. It was just like when he hit them terrible 2s, man, it went crazy. So yeah, good luck with that. Y'all gonna love that. Y'all gonna love it.
Well,
He started early.
Part of the journey. Part of the journey.
That's how it is, man.
G, do you have kids?
I got 2. I have a 11-year-old boy and a 13-year-old girl. So
Lord.
yeah, it's different. It's different, but Ariana was always cool. Like, you know, always like, I mean, she went through her 2s, but she was more manageable. Now my son, on the other hand, like y'all, he was like 4 kids in 1.
Yeah.
Anytime he would run, he's gone. You know what I'm saying? So and just, you know, just always yelling or crying, and you trying to figure out what's wrong. And trust me, be patient.
Oh my God,
it's going to get crazy.
Day, I'm like, I don't even know you're crying, and I don't even know why.
He's
how
like
it is.
grabbing our hand, bringing us to the corner, and I'm like, ain't nothing in this corner, boy.
I want it.
Let me go
Like, I don't even know why I'm here. What is going on? Why am I here?
Word. Let me go give him some milk real quick.
Oh,
I'll talk to you.
for sure, man.
All right,
We'll link up, man.
For sure,
all right, man.
for sure. All right, so look, so back to the I'm gonna go next with the song joint, right? So I didn't realize until I was an adult that the Whitney Houston song "Saving All My Love" was the side chick's anthem. Like, I had no idea. Oh wait, did y'all not know?
No, this is new. What do you mean? Wait.
Go ahead, man.
Oh, let me pull up the lyrics.
Yes, I'm saving. Oh, okay.
You could cut that second part out.
No, that was real pretty.
I wasn't projecting.
All right, so
How
look,
is that about being
hold
the other
on.
woman?
Oh, because she's saving.
A few stolen moments is all that we share. You
Mm.
got your family and they need you there.
Oh,
Though I tried to resist being last on your list, but no other man's gonna do. So I'm saving all my love for you.
Oh, that is a side chick anthem.
So she was Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
She was Mrs. Jones. Exactly.
I thought she was like, you know, you got to take care of your family out there.
Oh,
I'm
no.
gonna save my love while you come back from the country, like a very immigrant. Like, I'm saving all my love for you, Pedro.
It make it sound so like lovey-dovey, like, oh man, she's really in love. This is a wholesome love. No, it's not a wholesome love.
I know.
She is a home wrecker. She is
Mhm.
playing the role
Damn, you got to
of
get like
wrecking.
that. But we don't know the situation. Who wrote this song?
Hold on, wait.
Nope.
Y'all remember now, key lyric, my friends try and tell me, find a man of my own. But each time I try, I just break down and cry.
You know, we tried.
We like saving all. That's all I knew.
That's all you know. That's the wholesome part, the saving. Like, oh man, she got all this love and she just saving it for this dude.
Saving
Mhm.
it. She sold it.
There's a lot. Was this the 90s, right? Yeah.
No.
Things
Wait.
like that.
Yeah,
Early 90s?
Oh, God damn it.
But you know, a lot of those R&B songs in the 90s was about like cheating, like
Yeah.
yearning, that begging for
Mhm.
someone and be like, come on, girl, you know, it's me.
Just give it to me one more time.
Give it to
baby.
me one more time.
We used to smash in high school. We can, let's go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Familiar.
Damn it, Whitney.
Yeah.
Well,
side chick anthem.
And we don't, I guess we just don't listen to a lot of the lyrics. We just be
You go
in
for
it.
the emotion. You remember the time when you was young
Yeah.
and
Tell me how-
hoped about love.
I thought Michael Jackson's song was like, Jam was like, Jam, can't take,
Yeah.
Jam, ain't you a basketball player, Jam? I thought he was talking about
Because you know what it is? Michael
Jam.
Jackson, along with Pharrell, I would say like 20% of their lyrics, the way they sang them joints, you don't know what they saying. So you just put your, especially when you were a kid, you just put your own words into there or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't realize Michael Jackson sung so many like political songs. And I was like, wait, we wasn't talking about jamming and basketball playing? We were talking about like war,
police
brutality.
Like, what is this?
Michael
I'm
Jordan.
12. I don't care about none of that.
But why would you put Michael Jordan in a video playing basketball if it ain't about basketball and jamming?
It was the 90s. That's all you got to say. There was no rhyme or reason. It was just the 90s.
And Jordan was that nigga for sure.
I got one for y'all. I didn't know that baby it's cold outside was like the creep anthem.
This creepiest, rapist outside. I gotta get away.
You got the lyrics for that one, G?
Yeah, let me pull it up for y'all, man.
I love the line, but it's like, you gotta get up. Baby, it's cold outside.
That is
Baby, it's cold.
No, that's also another problem, right? Is that nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
Oh yeah.
When it feels nostalgic, we can overlook like
So many lyrics.
We have to overlook the lyrics because you're like, but I loved it when I was young, but don't make it right. I'm just saying. It's like this is why we're so conflicted. We're like, that was a good song.
But they will always play it every year, no matter what
I
happens.
guess the only songs I can think of were like very like in your face, bad or sexual, and I was singing it as a child, like my neck, my back, yeah, my crack, you know.
You see, I was doing what was it? Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. Like back in like 92, 91, 93, you know what I'm saying? But look, I got a question for y'all, right? I asked the last pod this too. So my barber, maybe just a little bit older than me, getting my haircut, and out of nowhere, he's playing like public announcement 12 play R. Kelly with his soul. And I'm like, brother, you give me a good haircut, man, but how do I address this man to say like yo, this is your shop, this is your chair, can you but can you not play 12 play R. Kelly?
Not want to hear that.
That's a really good. I'm glad you brought that up about the barbershop talks, because you know, my husband definitely comes home and be like, yeah, they would say some real toxic shit. Like it was getting on his nerves. Like it'd be stuff
you
like,
still want a good fresh haircut.
so you gotta sit there and be like, and don't let them be like, you know what I mean.
That's a skit right there.
Like, you know what I'm talking about, bro. You're like, don't involve me.
Right.
I know in your position, if everybody in the barbershop is like,
oh yeah, but this is the thing though. He's the only one that does it. Everybody else is busy cutting hair, you know, talking about the game, whatever. But he's the only one, and he did this more than once. The first time I was getting my haircut done, and he played it, so I was like, all right, I'm out the door. But for the next 20 minutes, all I'm hearing is your body's. Oh, I'm like, oh, come on, man.
Special R. Kelly playlist.
Come on,
just
man.
He's singing it.
Goddamn mixtape.
He was singing it. He was like, your body's calling me. Oh, you good, fam? You good, fam? All right, I got you again. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, have you ever accidentally locked eyes with your barber? Has that ever happened to you, G?
Yeah.
You try like, look over here. Look at me. I'm like,
no.
Yo,
weird.
I'm gonna tell y'all a story, right? This happened back in 2002 or 1. I was working at Ticketmaster, and I was dating.
Hold on 1 second. I want to make sure. Hold on, I want to make sure the noise is not too much. Gentlemen, gentlemen.
I cannot stand her.
They didn't even answer to gentlemen. Yo, guys, thank you. Listen to that.
We've been calling you like, babe,
we'll be wrapping up soon.
You gotta talk in like a higher tone.
Y'all got deep voice. Come on. Yeah.
But y'all sound like y'all was just talking to the phone.
Oh God. Can y'all? You gave him milk? No. You gave him milk? You gave him milk?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. We'll be wrapped soon. We just can hear you.
Oh, we going up.
Yeah. Sorry. We'll be wrapped soon.
Oh yeah, we'll be done soon.
Thank you.
Bass in that next time.
Okay. You know what? We said gentlemen. All right. We were trying to be polite.
I said skirt. The skirt.
All right. I just wanted to make sure.
Oh, you fine.
warming up the food?
They're not loud.
Okay,
cool.
Yeah.
Mind you, we're talking mad shit, but like my man cooked for
Yo, y'all ain't shit. They like take care of the kids, make a dinner. Hey, shut your ass.
I just realized that.
Shut your ass. We doing a goddamn, shut your ass.
we trying to make this money.
I just realized that we sent the guys to the room with the baby.
This is what moving forward looks like. Okay, this is what
Okay.
equality
This is it, man. They just gonna
There
have
you go.
to deal with it. That y'all
Because
like
when they
super big
film,
time
we
now.
be the ones with the baby upstairs. Like, you think they done? Yeah, we was hungry.
Yeah, you know, equal opportunity here.
Be like y'all rich and like be like, look, you know you ain't held the baby in a long time. Like throw some money at them or something.
That's why
You ain't mind all these checks.
I
How you think you
don't know
pay
if
for all of this? Okay.
I don't know if you've done it, but like when the time to change a baby's diaper and it's like a stinky one, you're like, ooh, you got it this time. I did two before.
Yeah.
Oh no, let me tell you how ain't shit me or my wife is. When my 4-year-old was a newborn, because we'd already done it, mind you, 2 other times before, so we already know what to expect.
Yeah.
The baby will wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. We both wake up, but we both subconsciously know the first person that moves got to go take care of the baby.
We do.
So we both awake and we just like,
We do that.
trying not to move a muscle and shit. We playing like a game of chicken to see you gonna flinch first. You know what I'm saying?
We do that.
We ain't
And
shit.
then I like sometimes I'll even be like, okay, he ain't moving. And I'll try to like poke him. So and go back to, but no, I don't even say that. I go back to sleep. Like I just try to wake him up and he don't move. I'm like, damn, I gotta get up.
Guess I gotta be a mom.
Gotta do it.
I'm tired.
Give him a dirty look as you go out of bed. Like, I'm gonna get your ass tomorrow.
Yeah, and he sleep walk. So I think he's awake, and he'd be like, "Nah, I was asleep the whole time." I'm like, how am I supposed to know the difference? Like, I was like, I'll be mad. I'm like, go in the room, and he'd be like, "What?" And he was like, "No, I was sleeping." I'm like, "You is lying to me." That's it. You was awake. Good excuse. That is a good excuse.
No, you remember. That's crazy. That is crazy. But what was we talking about?
Oh shit. Oh yeah, my story. So all right.
Sorry.
So back in like early 2000, I was dating a manager at Ticketmaster, right?
Side, I really thought you was about to say I was dating a man. Like, it's like
no.
I was like,
No.
word? I never knew this.
Yeah. You was like,
Never
wow.
knew that. New information.
No, but all right. So dating the manager, and we was doing a 1-2. I say that. And one day I'm at the barbershop over there by Norfolk State University, right? In Norfolk. And I'm getting my hair cut. And in comes in the girl that I was dating. And she comes straight toward her. I was like, how she know that I'll go to this barbershop? Kind of find out it's my barber's baby mother. So the whole time she's talking to him, I'm like, don't you say shit about what we got going on. You know what I'm saying? So that was like the most intense, like 10 minutes. I tried hard not to like look her away. I was like, how in the hell did this happen?
Bro,
You know what I'm saying?
Your
So-
throat with the clippers, the joints are sharp, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man.
Did she see you or were you hiding?
All right. So she's coming down and I'm facing like towards the wall, but I can see her and she sees me. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking she's looking at me, but it was at the barber behind me. And I was like, I was confused. Like, how did she know I come here to this barbershop? But then when she like turn around the corner and like talk to old boy, I was like, this can't be life. This is not going on right now. Talk about not scared, but this just confused and like,
how did I get here?
Who's pranking me? Like, nah, this can't be real. And that was the last time I got my hair cut at the barber. Like, I was like, I ain't gonna get involved in no drama.
Yeah. I was gonna ask.
Yo, yeah.
Well, I gotta change my shit.
Cause when they get into argument, she gonna be like, "That's why I fuck when he's
That's,
no, he's gonna be like, "Ooh, right?
That's why I'm fucking G, my client."
Like, what do I have to do with y'all? You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know about you. That happened
People
to me
are
with my
petty.
That happened
People
to me
are
in my
petty.
early 20s. That happened in my early 20s. It was not that, but something similar to that. So like I meet this girl, we kicking it or whatever. I don't even know she gets engaged. I didn't even know that, right? Mm-hmm. So like after we've been talking for like a month or whatever, I'm at my job. She calls, her phone calls me. So I answer the phone, but it's her fiance. She's like, hey, you know, you've been talking to my girl. I'm like, nigga, who are you, bro? He was like, I'm such and such fiance, and I see all these messages on her phone, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I was like, yo, bro, talk to your girl. And I hung up on him, right? This nigga calls me immediately back. He's like, hey man, hey, you know, I'm trying to meet up, bro. Like, we gotta handle this.
What?
Handle what?
What?
Bro, like I wish I would fight you over a girl. I wouldn't fight nobody over no girl, but let alone a girl I know for like a month. Like I didn't even know about you, bro. Like,
I don't want to handle
woman,
nothing,
bro. Like, why do you want to fight me for? I'm just.
I want to fight
like,
her.
Your girl was like, you know.
Oh my gosh.
Niggas
those calls. I feel like I definitely had a couple of those calls from women that I was like, who? Yeah.
It was like a situation I knew.
Well, they was like, yo, he's my baby father, my husband. I'm like, who are you talking about right now?
Crazy.
And then in my situation, it's always like the women after I'm like, look, I don't even care about you, like really, to be honest with you. And I was like, you need to talk to him about it. And so they be like, well, what do you think I should say? Then it becomes a therapy session, and I'm over it. I'm like, do you have friends?
It's like, you know, they have friends.
Like, it's so weird.
If you were in my position, what would you do?
Like, what would you do? Bitch, I don't know. Like, yeah, right? Just leave. I could barely remember him. And I was like, and he wasn't even that great. So, girl, you can have him. Like, he was.
So you don't want him.
I was like, I'm good.
C- at best. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was like, I really didn't care about this guy
the group chat dick reviews gave him a C.
He was one of those. He was one of those here, Nick. Yeah, he was definitely one. He was like one of those like bunny rabbits. Like I was like, I was just laying there like he's really going hard right now. Like he's going hard, and I'm just.
Obviously, there was no communication.
No, he was like, well, most girls.
Wow,
that's red flag right there, man. Red flag, dog.
Why would you ever let those words come out your mouth? You know what I'm saying? That is hilarious.
I was like, my go-to response for things like this is always like, I don't really know what you want me to say. Like, I don't like. That's always what I say.
Give me the facts. Where's the statistics? Who did this background?
I was like, I don't know, and.
Was it independently fact checked? Did we have an independent investigation?
Independent study. Okay, can I get 3 resources?
Yes.
Bibliography and shit.
We not in that game no more, y'all.
Oh my god, I'm so happy.
Yeah, we grown.
Oh god, yes.
We adults now.
People are goofy. I
can't take it.
I love it.
All right. You get any other questions for our guest today, man?
No, I don't. It's funny because we had like all these topics. Are y'all watching anything on like TV or like Hulu, Netflix? Like, what are y'all?
We watch a lot. We are
Bel Air.
Yeah, Bel Air's.
Yo, Bel Air is my shit.
Cocaine Carlton.
Isn't that Adderall?
Listen, man, Carlton is a straight bitch on the show. Yo, I'm like, nigga, stop like a bitch every episode, man. Like, yo, you don't understand. I hate that nigga in the show, yo.
But you know what's funny? It's like I see on Twitter, there's so much hate for him. I'm like, but that means he's a good character.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? Exactly. So I was like, I don't hate the man personally, but his voice is one of those voices that I've never found attractive.
Nope.
It's a very like nasal.
Yes.
White,
snooty, uppity, you know what I'm saying?
I hate to say
privilege.
White, it sounds like I'm talking about articulation, but I'm like, no, it's like a tone. It's like just a whatever you say. Well, like it's like,
well, leave Lisa. I mean, it's like.
Oh my god, Lisa, shut up. I think the show is great. I feel like the actor with Jabari, such a great. He just has it, and he. You know what's interesting about his acting too is that. He did take a little bit of Will and made it his own, but there's definitely some movements and laughter that I'm like, wow, that reminds me of Will. Like, but he's not a copycat. He's his own, and he's like a kid of today. And he could do something that Will couldn't really do, which is he could play like I believe he is from like Philly in the hood, but like also that other side where he's like he ain't all like a hood dude, but like it's because like Will always got like joked on for being corny, and I could never see Will like being like I'm from the hood and gangs.
Yeah, that's
and, like, but this kid feels like Yeah, he's like one of the like
you know his mom, you know the family.
Yeah, he's like a good kid, but he definitely was raised, and I believe it more than I would believe Will back in the day, like being in that type of role. He can't really play that type, but this kid can, and I think he does good both worlds, right? So great story. Jeffrey is ain't your mama's butler.
Ain't your mama.
So
Your mama wish. Your mama wish was the house manager.
House manager.
Okay, give him the respect.
Yes, he is a house manager, and he's
And
just
bad man.
he's just on it. Like how you? He was like, I don't know. Did you see the last episode?
Yep.
It's like, how is he like? He's like looking to read like Michael Ealy's character. And he's
Hey, like our friends at shout out to the Bacchanal podcast. Jay, I don't know why I call you Jay. G, can you pull up the Bacchanal podcast page on Instagram? Like I homie over there, he did like a little skit about that. It's Michael Ealy. Like I haven't seen Belly. I've seen like one episode when I was getting my hair retwisted.
It's so good. Watch it.
I'm gonna have to watch. How many episodes is it?
When I say they're up to almost, they're probably gonna hit 10.
Yeah, I hope so.
I hope because it's that good.
It is really good. And then Michael Ealy, when I saw him come on the screen, I said,
you already knew he was gonna do something.
I hear it is, y'all.
Happy God damn it.
No, that menace Michael Ealy trying to clap Aunt Viv's cheeks. That woman married. Leave her alone, Michael Ealy. You blue-eyed devil. The holy water ready now. Skedaddle, you devil. Skedaddle. You blue-eyed menace, you. The woman married, son. She married. Look at him. Married. You blue-eyed monster. The woman is married. Terrence Howard walked so Michael Ealy could creep. Stay woke. Damn you, Michael Ealy. Damn you, Michael Ealy.
That
shout out
is
to them.
true. That is hilarious.
That light skin, no connected facial hair. Damn you,
Terrence
Damn you,
Howard.
Michael Ealy.
It's because he looking at her like without losing eye contact.
Yeah.
And he looking at her like hungry. I was like, creeps. Like even Ron was like, oh my God. Ron's like covering himself like, oh.
Is this what you women go through? Yes.
Yes. He's just
going
like,
to the bodega or the markets on a Sunday. Yes.
but he's doing it like, because he's trying to get in there on the like, oh, you're an artist. I believe in you. Your husband don't believe in you.
That last episode.
He was like, this part of my wall right here, that's for you right there. All you gotta do is give me your art. I'm gonna put it right here on the wall. I'm like, nigga, chill the fuck out, man. You're doing too much, man. Much, brother.
I feel like men everywhere like,
Gotcha, bitch.
like y'all hated it.
Finally got a Uncle Phil that look good, the boss, the man, and then Michael Ealy.
Mad Men are relating to this. Like, nah, it's a Michael Ealy in every corner.
They everywhere. Michael Ealy's is out there, fam. Michael Ealy's is out there.
And then he's intense. It's like too much. I'm like, chill, back up.
He would play like a good black version of Joe from
you.
Yo, he actually.
Oh wow. Okay, good point. Good point.
He played a serial killer in what is the name of that show?
Yes, he did.
A stalker.
Is that you know what I'm talking about? The show on
Yes,
Fox?
he did. It was one of those like black Tyler Perry movies that you're like the dark version.
Like my mom.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
like, it's real good. You should watch it.
He's trying to kill her. He died at the end though.
I was like, yes, I know. We know this.
I always knew Michael Ealy. I always knew he was evil. He plays evil very well. Very.
Oh my God, he does.
Because it's ambiguous. Don't know where your ancestors are from. Blue eye.
You got too much colonizer in you. I don't trust it. Let me look at your ancestry.
I can't go to sleep.
Yeah, I don't know.
Blue-eyed devil. All right,
Just
so look,
wake up and punch him.
Let me run this by y'all. Okay, go ahead. You saying something?
No, I was just like, if I wake up next to him and just punch him, because like I don't know.
Just don't trust it.
I don't trust him.
Don't trust you.
It was cool last night. I don't know why.
You about to do something
When
that
you
I
come
don't
in the sun, you look different in the sun.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't trust it. So that's a punch for the future.
Yeah.
So look, I was having this conversation with my homegirl, right? So it was and I want to get y'all perspective because what she was saying was like it's like how you were saying, Jen, like at a bodega or whatever, you got these eyes on you, like, you know what I'm saying? So as a woman that's attractive or whatever, is it better to be attractive and you having to deal with these eyes on you constantly, feeling like you're a piece of meat, right? Or is the flip side worse, like to be unattractive and you never get that? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you have thought about that, but like, what are your thoughts?
I always want to be attractive. Like a very vain answer.
I'm
like,
good.
Now, but you know,
I'm good.
People gonna look anyway. You
That
can
is
be
true.
butt ugly, and they still. My dad looks at every piece of ass.
My
He
dad
is
too.
married,
And I don't know if
It's
that's
true. Guys
fair.
will-
and
guys will definitely-
his eyes may not be 20/20, but he will always
My dad
catch a piece of ass. He will always look. And I'll look at him and be like, Dad, really? He's like, I'm not blind.
Yeah.
I was like, she's not.
So I feel all women really go through it. You know what's funny? Because these women be knocked up, and I'm like, y'all dudes are lying, be like, oh, I would never hit and like
Hell
never
yeah,
be
they
into
do.
that girl, and they do.
The lie.
They do. So
Yeah, somebody's smashing because you got like
exactly, because they got
like,
these kids.
somebody's.
Somebody.
You know. So I'm like, you lying. Like I hate when guys are like, I would never like. Let me see. Like, oh, I wouldn't be into like a Beyonce, and I'm like, you can't even get a Beyonce.
Yes, you
Like,
would.
like it's like.
You've heard a guy say that? What?
Yeah,
In what world
Beyonce's
is
just not my type. You know, she too much. Like,
Too much.
Wow.
Like, what do you mean?
Lying.
Beyonce?
like, stop the cat, my nigga?
Exactly,
Like, for real.
man.
Like, come on.
Beyonce come in front of me, I'm looking at it. I'm gonna look at
Yeah.
all of it. It's
Mhm.
Beyonce.
Lying.
Well, look at God's work.
Yep.
Shut up. You're looking at
All
me
this
like,
good.
you don't look at Beyonce? Like, yes, I
Exactly.
am.
Not
What,
really.
hey, what's your guy name? What's your guy's name?
Oh, you're a Kelly.
Oh, he's a Kelly Rowland
Oh,
type.
Shamari.
Okay, Kelly.
But it's hypothetical. You don't even gotta choose. You can have them. You can have them all. It's
Your
a
mind-
Let
hypothetical
your wife
situation.
come back and say, what? We
In
gonna
your
have
mind-
one?
in your mind
You got
movie.
what?
In your mind movie, you can have anything you want.
It's like, would it be the same if Michael Ealy came back? Can't she have it all?
I mean, listen. If you want that blue-eyed devil, go with that. That blue-eyed devil.
That's on you.
That blew that monster.
Colonizer. All right, bet. So, thank y'all for being on.
Okay.
Tell the people where they can follow you on the
Oh,
socials and all that.
yes.
Stuff.
I mean, we are coming. We are entering 2022, God willing.
We are in
2022.
2022.
We are in
I was like,
2022.
I'm like, did we go back in time? Like, what is
It feels like it.
Should be saying things funny sometimes.
It's the first quarter. It's still the first quarter, technically. So
In terms of our progression, we thought 2020 was the year.
2020 vision about to do this.
Oh my
You know what I'm saying? We had like done this big movie, like yeah,
Yo, we was about
2020
to.
about to go down, and then COVID, and then she got pregnant. Well, she got pregnant before, but then she had her baby,
And it was just.
and it was
difficult.
COVID,
Yeah.
and then we couldn't film, and we tried, and now it's just like, you know what? Brand new wave. We've seen so much excellence in terms of like what media could really do.
Yeah, and everybody was in the same position once the
Right.
COVID was here. Like you see, all the big celebrities like trying to do, TikTok.
TikTok. Have you seen what's the dude's name? He was in How Stella Got a Groove Back.
Oh,
And-
Tay Diggs.
Tay Diggs. Have you seen Tay Diggs is like ridiculous on TikTok.
He's
Like,
funny, but like, so we were
hilarious.
all in the same boat. Like, we all got to do this from our camera phone. Like, so
Mhm.
yeah, so it definitely like let us see, like, oh, like let's like ride this momentum and just put it out there. And so like now we are definitely focused on revamping and putting out more. And y'all can find us, these two locas, everywhere. We on the TikTok, we on the Instagram.
Don't judge us now. Just wait for our beautiful content to drop.
But no, but you could, but get to know us. Get
Yes.
to know the journey.
Get to know the madness.
It's a madness up
The
until this point,
friendship.
and then know that more is to come. So
Right.
yeah,
Dope.
these two locas, everywhere you are
Everywhere,
on
'cause
social
we know-
media.
We so far been the only two, so we just run it out
Yeah.
Cool.
We're gonna keep making these ha-has and he-he's.
until I get Oprah in my hands. I'm gonna push forward.
Yo, that's
Trying
to get
what's
over
up, man.
That's the goal. If we can make Oprah laugh.
Oh,
Oh, that's it.
That's it. That's a wrap.
Made it.
that's a wrap.
I'll
then.
take a smile, a slight. He'll take a yeah, I'll take that. I'm like,
What
I'm
if you make Stedman laugh? Would that make any difference? Do you think
That nigga
he'll
don't
convince?
He,
That nigga.
nobody talk about Stedman.
That's-
Gail.
Gail.
We take
Gail. Okay, yeah.
You gotta
Gail.
get
There we go,
Friend.
Gail. Okay.
That's combo. You know what I'm saying? Tell your friends to get with my friends. We can all be friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a platonic way, Oprah.
Yeah. And we just, and I think with our content, we just aim to just be, and there's a lot of content out there. There's a lot of like, you know, I don't know if anyone is doing it like us, but I think like, I think our differentiating factor is that like we do keep it real, like whether it's PC, not PC, like we do consider all sides, but we also like put ourselves out there in a very vulnerable way through comedy. Like we're willing to make fun of ourselves or call ourselves out, and we're also willing to learn. Like it's just, I feel like that is what makes us unique in the world of content that is out there today. So.
Oh man, love it.
Oh, that was
we appreciate the show.
Yeah, we be like, people like us, like they take us. What? They think we're funny?
Oh, y'all hilarious, man.
Maybe we got a future. Thank you. We may have a future after all. Mika.
Yeah, I would love for us to do like a road trip where we meet just other women like doing amazing things, especially like when we were
our gentlemen's
and just like you know, we want to like. It's like these two locas like being a part of someone else's culture or life or like whatever they got going on in this. Like I want to take a twerk class. Like I know to do my twerk, but like I want to take it from a professional twerker class and just like be like, you know, girl, like this. Like we know a girl who does this for a living. She teaches twerking, and then there's some other interesting women and men that we know. We just want to be a part of y'all world and. Like, let's see what these two locas could do if we get out there and do it.
So I can see that. Like, I don't know if y'all follow Kevin on Stage, but Kevin on Stage actually has a show where he does that. It's him and two of his comedian friends, and they just travel to different cities. I think it's more or less the cities that they're going to be performing in. But you know, in between the performances, you know, you're viewing different things that the city is known for, and he films it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love it.
Doing that.
Well, we looking for, you know, producers out there who want money. Who want to?
You always trying to share a bed. I don't really do that. I need my own bed.
And the name, these two locals, it's like a perfect show name too. You know what I'm saying? It's just chef's kiss. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
And a lot of our journey has been like random acts of moments of life, because these two locals' name came like after we had shot and we were like on the couch and like what's Ron, I think was like, what was your names? And I was like, what would my mother call us? And I was like, oh, these two locas, esta loca. And Nico was like, that's it. That's it. Well, that's it.
I was like, I saw the branding immediately. I was like, shirts, hats,
shirts. That's like shirts.
This is great. This is it. This is it. And if you could see it, you could dream it. It could happen.
Yeah.
Real quick before y'all get out of here, and say y'all may not be mad at us, man, but we love y'all. Can we pull up the clip on their page, G, real quick? The joint where I think it was like a dominatrix that came or something like that.
Yeah, it was Lady Zombie.
Oh, that was such a great show.
And we want to produce more shit like that. But that definitely took like
it took money. We had to pay for the spot.
My husband's like he's a video editor, and I think we had someone else behind the camera.
Shamari. It was him and Shamari. Oh no, Debbie.
Yeah. Look at you looking like a cute stud.
That was me trying to like me that day.
I did like her. I was trying to holler, but then I realized it was just Jen. I was like,
it's me alone. But yeah, that was
we do content. I be forgetting. Cool. I know, but I be forgetting. It looks good. Yeah, I was trying to think that.
Oh, I love Craft Country. Can't believe that's canceled. So many things.
I know, right?
So many good shows that haven't gone, but Lady Zombie, she's definitely a cool person, a cool mom, and to have that conversation about kink and BDSM from a woman that understands like
from the latinx
culture
community.
And being from New York, being from the hood, and being like, we don't do that, or that's not a space for us. It really is. And you know, we got to try some things.
Was it a Talking Kink one? Was that it?
Lady Zombie.
I think it's wow. We've done a lot of content. Look at
right
this.
There.
Right
Talking
King.
So you rub before you strike.
We don't have that.
Okay, I consent to this.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Am I supposed to
Consent talk.
I think this is a bad idea.
Tap. Whack. Tap. That was my bag.
So you rub before you strike.
We go rub your butt.
Okay, I consent to this.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Am I supposed to bag? I think this is a bad idea.
wide.
Tap, 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 tap. That was my bad.
Like all that ass, I thought it was ass. I didn't know
That is my Peruvian wide back is meant to hold baskets of fruit.
My Peruvian wide back, hilarious.
Yeah.
Put that on the t-shirt. That was
yes. We're all a wide people in our family, and but that was my back, not my butt. It was my back butt.
It was that curve.
Well, because I don't have, how some women have the
curve.
It's like the curve and the back, the
arch
flows.
Yeah,
together.
mine is just together.
But thanks to my mama's ass, I got a butt. So it's like I got the wide back butt of the Peruvian side, and then my mom's butt. So it's just like, what's going on? It's a Mika. Is it all a back or a butt? I don't know. It looks better with clothes off.
I told you, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. But we still have that paddle, and that's part of our future franchise.
Yeah.
That's it.
Hey,
Ooh, we're gonna
That's
sell
all part of your journey.
I like that.
These
That's
two
the journey.
low-cost paddles. Would y'all buy a paddle? These two low-cost paddles?
Yes, I would
Your
pre-order them
wives.
right
my
now.
God. Yes, I'll be the
Yeah,
first
with
one
the
to
wives.
purchase.
I think we gotta.
Yes.
You might use it on you. You better be careful
You
there.
gotta be okay
Nah,
with that.
shit. It's funny. We talking about
good.
that like some weeks ago. We were shout out to Magical Geeks and Freaks, and like the girls on that show, they was like, "Yo, if you into like your woman like spanking something," they said, and we was like, "Hell no, like no, don't spank. You can like slap my ass every once in a while, just on some funny shit, but don't. I'm not laying on the bed, and you're not just like
Right.
going to town on my yeeks. It ain't gonna happen. Nah."
Fine. You guys are no fun.
Mika's like,
I can't get my husband to do anything like that too. He would like be like, nah, don't even joke like that. Like he's
Nah,
not.
the yeeks.
shout us to the folks that do though.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever you into.
Yeah, whatever is your
whatever you
kink.
into.
Kink
As
on.
long as there's consent.
Magic word, y'all. Consent.
I'm gonna edit this shit and put like the more you know, like going across the shit, like so say consent.
The more you know, the more you could do. So,
Hey.
And then y'all gotta make sexy consent. You know what I'm saying?
Sexy consent.
Sexy
There you go.
consent.
sexy
We
consent.
coined a lot of terms today. I love
That's
it.
right.
Hey, look, we want a piece of them t-shirt sales, but we didn't give y'all like at least three.
I know.
Three solid ideas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
As a graphic designer, so we can get it done. You know,
Yeah, we
It's
have
a
a
little
whole
equity,
house
you know what I'm
team.
saying?
Oh yeah, team baby. That's what we do.
10%, you know what I mean? Nothing crazy, nothing crazy. But anyway, thank y'all again for being on. You can follow us at Geek Salad Now on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube page. I want to thank everybody for watching. Until next time.
Peace.
All right. Thank y'all again for
Thank
coming
y'all.
on to
This
the
was
show.
fun.
That was fun.
Yeah,
Thank
you. Enjoyed this.
It's been a while because we've been this COVID, man. How have you guys been able to maintain the flow of things? Yeah.
Oh, we had a couple of breaks because we started like in 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, we started at like mid 16. We started mid 16 doing an actual like show. And then G, because we're from Virginia, but G moved to Charlotte, so we had to shut down. Then I went to Charlotte and had like the time of my life. You remember the Charlotte weekend?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We was drunk. It was like, yo, we need to do like a podcast, bro. He was like, yeah, I've been thinking the same shit. We need to do a podcast. So did a podcast starting at the like the end of 2019, and then COVID hit. So we ended up having to take another break. But then the last like year we've been back strong. Like,
we've been consistent with the content, with the podcast, and just really just trying to like make it grow even more so. So we're trying to incorporate more lives and just and also like give back to more like content creators too, like giving them a spotlight with the whole Geek Salad brand as well. So
right. No, we appreciate it. Like, we're trying to get our footing here in Jersey because Mika was here before, but we were like so New York and content focused when COVID happened. It was like, yo, what are we gonna do? And then me and my man moved here to New Jersey, but we moved literally a week before the world shut down in the US. So it's like we'll be able to like meet people and connect. It's like, oh, this is so dope. As you can see, the kid is now here. Yeah, talking about you.
Oh.
Patrol.
What's up?
King.
Yeah, I'm about to wrap up and go. I'll see
Thank you,
y'all
guys.
later.
Yo, thanks again for being on.
Thank you guys, and we'll talk soon for sure.
Oh,
Thank
no
you.
doubt.
Be good.
All right, now.
Bye.
Bye now. Y'all be good.
You too. Bye.
I'm on the come up, jump up, I pick my gun up. Joe Jackson with trap.